Good morning, my park people. I hope you are doing well this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever the heck you are. I'm glad you're here. I'm Reina Creole, and this, of course, is the Resort Recon Live podcast. And here we kind of get you guys caught up on the, I guess, relevant or pressing theme park news of the week, answer your questions about the theme parks, and just generally have a good time just nerding out, about theme parks. So may have some friends pop in every now and then. Hopefully they can. It'll be great to see them. But remember, you guys in the chat, you guys are my co-hosts. So I love seeing your comments, seeing your questions, all of that. That's what this community is about. It's not just me in front of the camera, but it's also you guys in the chat. So much love. Let's see who we've got before we get started talking about Disney destruction and Universal domination. We've got DJ Knight in the chat. How you doing? Good to see you, my dear. Good to see you. We have got Juliet. It says, evening, Lorena and Chad. Well, good evening to you, Juliet, and good to see you. And thank you for being a channel member. I sure do appreciate that. And we got Braylon Lee in the chat. How you doing? One of my other theme park nerds says, hey, good people, it's recash hashtag it's a recon time. I like that. And let's see. I'm sorry, I'm on my second cup of coffee. So this morning, BR guys, hello, my darling. Says, hey, Lorena and chat. Well, hello, and good to see you as well. And there's Tom, one of our amazing wrenches. Says, hey, all, welcome in. Good seeing you, my dear. And we've got Marilyn M in the chat as well. Says, hello, Lorena and chat. Hello, Marilyn. Good seeing you. And we got Fanny Willis Bodie in the chat. Says, yo, Lorena, good to you and the chat. Well, good seeing you. Good seeing you, my dear. We've got Linda F in here. Of course, that's Tom's better half. Says, hello, all. Hello, my dear. And let's see, Meg B, hello. So still morning in Texas, so morning all. Always excited to catch a live stream. Well, it's always great seeing you, Meg. We actually have a Texas-related theme park story actually lined up for today, so we're going to talk about that. Hey, Shanotsky, how you doing? It says, hey, Lorena. Hello, and good to see you. Let's see, VR Guy says, Lorena, I was at Magic Kingdom yesterday evening and a marching band marched through Frontierland playing Zippity Doodah. It was such a welcome surprise. Oh my gosh, I would have loved to have seen that. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. It's those little things, in Frontierland of all places. So that was awesome. Was it the Main Street Band or was it one of the school marching bands? Let me know. I think it sounds like it was probably one of the school marching bands. Let's see. Dylan Soup says, hey, Lorena, sup, chat? Well, hello, sup. Good seeing you, Dylan. And Liam McNeil, hello and good to see you. Says Reina Creole, I'm positive Disney is really run by underpants nose. Step one, drive all the guests away. Step two, question mark. Step three, profit. That's too funny. You're not that far off, really. Hey, Goofar35, how you doing? Says, hey there, well, hey there, and hello. Disney is destroying itself. Yes, it is. And I never thought that I would ever say that. Just to remind some folks, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be an Imagineer. Every time I go to Disney, I'd see stuff like, how did they do that? How did they do that? I'm the one looking behind, looking around, looking to see how they do things because it was just fascinating creating new stuff and immersing people in stories. And that's the thing that I loved. And that experience is there's no champion for that experience. That's the issue. It all comes from the top. There's a difference. Say what you want about Michael Eisner. At least during the Eisner era, it was still shut up and take my money. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, Abu Nas is in the chat. Hello, 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 my dear. Let me hit you up with something for that super chat there. This is pathetic. Yeah. Join in, folks. It's yodeling time. Here at Lester's Elephant green screen effect. Abuna says, my producer looking too cool for school. Oh, thank you, my dear. Says, I'm in the kitchen cleaning up as I'm listening in. Are you going scorched earth this morning or are you just looking good given regular news? I want scorched style. Well, thank you for that $10 super chat, my dear. Thank you so much. Yeah, I go scorched earth on Disney because they have it coming. And the more I see what Universal is putting out, the more heat I'm exposing when it comes to Disney. Because you know what? They set the bar and then they couldn't meet their own bar. You know how I do. Well, thank you so much, Abu Das. I appreciate that, my dear. One of the amazing men of the Dark Council. I do believe we have a show next week at 8:30 p.m. over on Fatal J's channel. So you do not want to miss that. Let's see. Hey, Florentin, how you doing? Says hello, Lorena. Well, hello, 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 hello. Sorry, Florentin. Funny story. When I took French in high school, one of my teachers kept saying because we would go through those classes where you'd have the headsets on and you'd hear a word or phrase in French and you'd have to repeat it. And apparently my teacher was eavesdropping, and she was just like, you seem to get it always on the first try and perfect pronunciation. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I find out 5 years ago, French Louisiana, French relatives. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe that's where it came from, because it was astoundingly easy for me to learn French, and I could not understand why. Now I do. Now I do. Captain Mickey Mouse, hello and welcome to the channel. Says, hey, Lorena, love the blue shell pillow behind you. It's so amazing you are going to Super Nintendo World when it opens in Orlando. Well, thank you. I got the blue shell pillow actually from Target. They do sell it at Mitsukoshi department store in the Japan Pavilion in Epcot, but the markup is pretty insane. I think it's like $30. I got it from Target for like 18. I love it. When my family came to visit for Christmas, my nieces and nephews, okay, my nephew, he grabbed the blue shell pillow, and my oldest niece got the Yoshi hat. It was so funny. And yes, I am so excited. I'm not going opening day because I screwed up to get tickets, but I am going the 26th. I can't wait. I'm going straight to Super Nintendo World. I just have to. It's like if you've ever played any of the Nintendo games, it is amazing. I mean, the construction that I've been seeing and all of that, it is insane. I can't get over all the like gold coins they have spinning around. It's awesome. Shinovsky says, given the number of sex pests that work at the parks, how many high-level Disney people do you think will be on the flight logs they're releasing. I do not know. It'll be interesting. See what happens when the books are open and we can all read what's going on. It's Los Angeles. That's all I'm going to say. Meg B says, "Ooh, exciting, exciting, exciting. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it." Let's see. Oh, we got another super chat. We got another super chat. Jamie Stacklicky, thank you so much for that $4.99 super chat. And hopefully, I love Disney, yet also have been hating them. Do you find yourself hating them or loving them more? Ah, I really wouldn't say hating them, but more like loathing them because Walt Disney World, when it got started and for a couple of decades, they gave us amazing experiences. And it seemed like once Pixar came around, and yes, rightfully so, the Pixar characters were more popular. It's like they abandoned giving us experiences. Now they're just giving us carnival rides and jacked up prices without value in return. And this is the thing about economics. You can get someone to pay a higher price if the consumer sees value in it. If the consumer does not see value in it, they will complain, they will take their dollars elsewhere. And Disney is not immune from the law of economics. And I cannot, well, considering who they have running the company, understand that fact. Because when I go to Disney, there used to be a time when I was at Disney, it's like, shut up and take my money. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Now when I go, it's just like, no, I don't pay for that. I don't want to pay for that. I don't want that. That's way too expensive. And in my mind, I'm comparing it with Universal, where you can actually get plushies for under $20 and the quality is really good. And it's just, fun to see. Case in point, there's Miyoshi back there. All of the hats for like Yoshi, Bowser, Goombas, Mario, Luigi, over in the preview store, everybody's putting them on, putting them on and taking pictures. And it's like, I think they're like $30. No one blinked. It was just like, just give it to me, So if anything, I loathe it. I loathe them. It's because what they used to give us and what they're giving us now, it's kind of like, no, nah. So that's how I feel about it. So thank you so much for that super chat and that great question, Jamie. I appreciate it. Let's see. Even under the worst of Eisner, it never reached the levels of this bad. Exactly. I mean, under Eisner, we got like what, Cinderella 3 direct to direct to video. It's like some of them were bad misfires, but there was more good stuff than bad stuff. So we're kind of like, we can kind of overlook that. Hey CJ says Eisner is the prequels to Bob's sequel era. Yes, 100%. You want the difference? In the Eisner era, we had great merch. We also had the free fast passes that you could go and get. I mean, once they were gone for the day, but you could still theoretically get on all the attractions. And now with Bob's sequel era, we got like Premier Lightning Lane and all that nuts. It's just it's so messed up. Haha, that definitely mean that clip. Linda says, I was hatched many, many, many years ago today. LOL. Thank God I'm able to see another birthday. Well, happy birthday, my dear. So glad you are here. What day, Lorena, for Dark Council? Wednesday. Sorry, I didn't make that clear. Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Fatal J's channel. Usually what I do is my Tuesday show for the Spice Lounge. I route the stream over to Dark Council for the next day. Let's see. Hey, Bonzo, good to see you. Good to see you here. And yes, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Actually, it's a good point. Good point to bring up. Fire Dragon 57 says, my son's flight left an hour ago for Walt Disney World. It's his, he says, last trip to Disney will not return. Next and all other trips will be at Universal. Yeah, he's better at Disney. He's better. Yeah. Yeah. That's me. That's me. It's just like, why the heck do I want to spend money uh, with uh with y'all? And yet I walk into Universal and I'm like, dang it, I wish I had more money. This is too much stuff that I want to do. And you get to Universal, you're a pass holder. They're like, thank you for being a pass holder. I'm like, really? Thank you. Disney doesn't thank you. I failed my last year of high school French twice, says Frenchman. Yep, French sure is easy. I had my bad semesters, that's for sure. Let's see. Dance Life at the Kingdom. Hello. Says, hey, Lorena, I'm at Epcot getting my possibly last virtual queue for Guardians. Also, did you see the fireworks testing at Epic Universe? We're going to talk about both of those because, yes, I did. Yes, I did. We're going to talk about that. Marilyn M says, are you going to live stream your trip to Nintendo World? I will if Universal allows it. That's going to be the sticking part. So I think when the park opens, we'll be able to live stream. I'm going to find out. I should be able to. Either way, if I do not get the live stream, I will definitely be taking video. So stay tuned. I'll let you guys know as closer we get to opening day, or when they do pass holder previews, which is what I'm waiting on. I'll be able to get more information about if I can live stream or not. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just disappointed. I really am. And it's sad, but that's kind of where I am. Yes, please do hit that like button and subscribe to keep up to date on all the spice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's YouTube know my little channel is here, talking with you guys, giving you the straight dope on what's going on with the theme parks. Hey, Kiss My Grits, how you doing? How are you, my dear? Love it, love it, love it, love that you're here. Let's see. Hey, Lorena, Friday box office numbers just came out, and Captain America dropped 82% from last Friday. I freaking knew it. I freaking knew it. That's even worse than the 70 that was predicted. So I feel flipping vindicated. Good seeing you, Kiss My Chris. Thank you for bringing that up. And yes, I do. I want everything from Universal. Yeah, I do. I do. That place is dangerous for me, especially when they drop all that Super Nintendo World merch. And people are going to pay it. They're paying it now. They're all like, give me all the stuff. Ronan Bunny, hello. Says, when I saw Captain America, thank God I got a How to Train Your Dragon live action trailer instead of a Snow White trailer. Yes, I did too. And I really like it. I know there's some folks who are like, well, it's already animation. Why should we do live action? Why should we do live action? Because they got a part that's a How to Train Your Dragon themed, and it looks really good. I mean, like really good. When you see Hiccup, no, sorry, not Hiccup, you see Toothless. If you see it on a small screen, it's like, okay, but you see it on the big screen, it's nuts, absolutely nuts. By the way, any word on the job update? Been praying that you get it. Yeah, I have a video interview next Wednesday because one of the managers is out on vacation. So I have that, and I'm waiting to hear back on another one. So it seems like things are moving. So thank you so much for your prayers. I appreciate that. Never knew that one day I'd be too expensive to hire. I don't like grits, but absolutely became in love with polenta. Kiss my polenta. You know what? And I'm gonna get to the stories in a minute. I have to say this about polenta. So I was at a restaurant. Was I in the UK? Yeah, I was in London. I went to this Italian restaurant in London because in London you don't eat local food really. Not all that great. So anyway, there's like polenta. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm all excited to try polenta. And they bring it to me, and I look at it, and then I take one bite, and I'm just like, this ain't nothing but Italian grits. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. I was. I can't. I can't. So every time I see polenta, I'm like, that's Italian grits, right? I'm like, what? I said, yeah, Italian grits, Italian grits. Okay, well, that 80 of you folks in here watching, thank you so very much. Let's get to the news that's going on. But let me answer this last question. Could Wicked make its way into an expansion for Epic Universe? It could. We got a story about that. I'll get to that in a bit. All right. Let's see. Okay, so first bit of news coming from Thrill Geek. Legoland, Florida had announced today that the grand opening of Sea Life Florida will happen on May 23rd, 2025. Let me kind of blow that up so you guys can see that. This all-new aquarium designed especially for young explorers features 25 interactive exhibits, a theme park under the sea, signature ocean display, and over 3,000 marine animals, including black-tip reef sharks and big belly sea horses. Now, the reason I bring this up is Legoland, which is about, I want to say 45 minutes from where Disney World is. It's in Winter Garden. They've been building up their parks as well. You have to also remember the Peppa Pig park is over there too as well. So this is a great expansion. If you're looking for an alternative to Disney for your young kids, Legoland is all that. It really is. So I'm really glad to see this going on. So a lot of the local parks are expanding their offerings. So again, check out Legoland. Put that on your list of things to possibly see if you're planning a trip to the Orlando area. Oh, thank you, Braylon. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, so that is Legoland, Florida. Just wanted to bring that up. Next bit, let's get into our Disney news. Disney World ending virtual queues for Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Now, this is supposed to start February 25th. Let me kind of explain why some folks are like, oh, this is great. This is great. I'm like, yes and no. It's great that they got rid of the virtual queue because Guardians of the Galaxy, that was on virtual queue for like, what, 2 years? More than 2 years, 2.5, or something like that. They had a virtual queue. It's like you had to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and try to get a virtual queue reservation to get in, and it made zero sense while they were doing the virtual queue. So Tiana's Bayou Adventure, let's face it, all right. One, they shut the attraction down early. And we've seen this on my streams where the park closes at 10 and they shut down Tiana's Bayou Adventure like 8 o'clock or something. That's an attraction that never should have had a virtual queue, because after that first week, demand pretty much plummeted. And it doesn't help that they got all kinds of technical issues going on. The water level is low, which is why it's bumpy as heck when you ride it. And the water cannons, what water cannons? I mean, there's hardly anything that's there. And in the evening, it looks like a creepy mountain thing. It does not, it looks more like it's part of the Haunted Mansion than what it used to look like as Splash Mountain. So the reason why I say this is not really a good thing, it seems like it's a good thing, but I don't believe that it is. They're going to end the virtual queue. Okay, so now there's just standby. So you remember back in the day when they had the standby line and the fast pass line? Back when fast pass, yeah, it kind of jacked up the lines, but at least fast pass was free. Even more agitated when Fast Pass Plus system came up. Even more aggravated. I've been in the standby lines, like say for the Jungle Cruise, and they'll make you wait and then pull in like 50 other people in front of you, basically jacking up the line. Now that Disney has that premium lightning lane, premier lightning lane, which they started out with just park guests, but then made it so that everyone can try it. I mean, I'll get it pitched to me on my app when I check in at Disney. It's like, oh yeah, for $325 or something like that, you can get the Premier Lightning Lane over at the Magic Kingdom. Disney does not cap that. There's no incentive for them to cap it. They want to get as much money out of you as possible because they're banking on your FOMO, fear of missing out. I'm not going to have the complete Disney vacation if I don't get to try everything. So what you're going to have, and unlike Universal, that makes their Express Pass expensive but limited, Disney is going to sell as many of those Premier Lightning Lane passes as they can get their hands on. There's no reason for them to cap it. And they've never shown any reason to cap it. They oversell everything, especially the Halloween party. They oversell it. So I would say until about, well, we'll say in about 3 weeks, because March is spring break month. Spring break, and then you delve into like the Easter holidays, and that's when you get the mass influx, or that used to be, from Brazil, from the UK, and then you have the American schools on vacation. I always said that it's not a trip to Disney World around Easter or Christmas without running into a whole lot of Brits. It's just been expected. So yeah, this is not good news for the consumer, although it sounds like good news for the consumer. I'll keep my eye on this, but I see Disney just basically jacking up the prices for the Premier Lightning Lane. And I think, well, I don't think I know. Clownfish TV did a video on this, and Geeky pretty much said the same thing that I did. That's what they're going to do, which is really, really messed up. Hey, HC says hi. How you doing? How you doing? Braylon says, this is interesting. Will this make Disney rethink other decisions like extra magic hours, Magical Express, and more? Magical Express, that is definitely not coming back. I don't see them trying to do that. Extra magic hours, they've already cut it down to 2 hours. Used to be 3. They cut it down to 2 hours, and they limited it to deluxe resorts. I don't see them expanding extra magic hours because they have those, after hours events going on, and I didn't know they cut it down to 2 hours. I just happened to look. Usually it was 3, but now it's 2. So if they'll rethink it to see how they can extract more money on it, and it's not gonna be a win for the consumers, that's for sure. Goofar35 says, "I could imagine even the aging tech issues Splash Mountain had. It never got anywhere near as bad as Tiana's." Yes, because with Splash Mountain, they had pneumatic animatronics. And not only just pneumatic animatronics, but the ones that some of them that they had, they ran on a constant loop. Like one section where you see Burr Rabbit hopping like next to you, that was one that consistently ran. With Tiana's, some genius in Burbank says, "Hey, why don't we have electronic based animatronics? And then have the animatronics triggered by the boat showing up." Electric animatronics in hot ass humid Florida. Makes 0 sense. But yeah, you're right, Goofar35. It was never that bad as Tiana's. Like, they would probably they definitely shut it down if there was lightning. But when there was a technical issue, um, it was once in a blue moon, or when it did go down, was down for a couple hours and they brought it back up. But the thing is, the ride was so good, even with those intermittent outages, people would wait. Or they go over to Thunder Mountain. If you ever saw the Defunct Land doc on the line systems for Disneyland, it's pretty good. Yes, I did see that. I totally nerded out on that. And yeah, back in the day when I was a grad student, I actually got to study, called the queuing theory. So study how lines and how people move in Walt Disney World. I actually had to program a computer simulation about that. Kiss My Grits says, "Last time I was at Magic Kingdom, I didn't see anyone coming off of TBA who were soaked like you used to get on Splash. Of course, nothing soaks you worse than the Popeye ride at Universal Islands of Adventure." Yeah, Bluto's bilge barges at Universal, between that, um, Ripsaw Falls, not so much, and oh my gosh, the Jurassic Park river ride. That splash zone at the end reminds me of Splash Mountain. That water, there is so much water. It's like you just hear this roar of the water and people get soaked. They have a whole like huge family dryer, 2 of them. But yeah, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, you do not. You could take a nap on that ride. And in hot Florida, it's just like we need to get soaked, and that's why we ride this attraction. So made 0 sense how they did that. Can't wait to see how long the standby lines will be. Yes, that's when I'm paying attention to, because the engineer in me says that the standby lines are going to be nuts. Because right now people will pay for that service. So, yeah, get ready to wait for that standby. They don't get that by making product worse. They're selling people on Epic Universe. Yes, they are. Because whenever I'm over at Universal, um, and they have, their standby lines, their express lines, there's hardly anybody in it. And there's a reason for that. Because they cap it. Like, it's expensive, but it's extremely limited for you to try. Dylan says, "I never met a lot of Brits at WDW, only South American groups and family reunions." I've met I did. I mean, a lot of, lot of Brits, Brazilians, used to be a lot of Saudi families, but that was back in the 90s. Not so much now, but yeah, I did. Because I remember around Easter when I was living in Philly and we came down to Universal for Easter one year, and we ran into this like all these British folks. They were on vacation for like Easter, and camera girl was talking to these two British kids, and they were fascinated listening to her, listening to her talk. And they were like, "Yes, we had a choice to go to Spain or to Disney, and we wanted to go to Disney." It was cute. I know a Gooder says, "I'm still annoyed at Disney for killing Splash Mountain." I will never forgive them for that. Will never forgive them for that. Duckula says, "I'm going to Florida at the end of the year. I'm not sure if I will bother with Disney. Universal 3 parks, definitely." You were gonna get more for your money at the Universal parks, honestly. Disney, they've got construction, the value is not there. If you want a hit of Disney, go to Disney Springs. This is what a lot of people don't talk about. You can go to Disney Springs and honestly actually get a better Disney experience. But if you really want to go to Disney, go to Animal Kingdom Park. That's what I would highly suggest doing. That park, it's like the last I'll say the last bastion of old school Imagineering. I mean, they are starting to do some stuff for tropical Americas, but for the most part, it's kind of like way back in the park. But for the most part, you can enjoy your day at Animal Kingdom Park, honestly. And as a bonus, take the bus over to the Animal Kingdom Lodge. Try like their restaurants, and they also have a savannah where there's other animals that'll come by, so you can go and see them there. The sooner Josh D'Amaro gets fired, the soon the parks get back to their imaginative roots. Yeah, I don't know why a lot of people let Josh D'Amaro off the hook, or as I call him, Mr. Skinny Jeans, because a lot of this stuff is his fault. He's over the parks. Buck stops with him. Let's see. I can see the after hours events being spun off as extra hours. Well done, Lorena Creole. Just thinking because for Disney to make a move like this, one can only hope. Yeah, they sell out a lot of those evening after hours events, and they're getting money from it. So something else. Yep, Jared, don't forget the electric on a water ride. Who I know there had to be a couple of Imagineers that were like, "You really wanna do this?" And they're just like, "Yeah, we wanna do it." "Okay, you didn't listen to me." Was that whole sewage thing real? Yes. Yes, it was. More than once. More than once that happened. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let me see. A couple more before I go on to the other story. With the time of by the time it breaks down, you could actually take a legit nap. Yeah, if you want to know what Tiana's Bayou's adventure is, riding through it, I've got a couple of videos and live streams going through that attraction. Needless to say, was it was something else. It really was. I've never been so disappointed in the first ride of a ride. It's freaking awful. It's awful. Let's see. Have any of the TBA animatronics caught fire yet? I'm not sure if it's a matter of time and it will be in front of a family and scar them for life. No, no fires, but you'll have the animatronics kind of like freezing, legit freezing. They don't move. Or with Lewis, like only his lips move and the rest of his body that's supposed to move is like frozen, or Mama Odie face planting and in the war. And I don't know what happened to Juju. It's like he was there one time and then he was gone. Crazy. I can confirm as someone who got stuck at the Animal Kingdom park during Katrina, it felt like Disney. Yeah, it did, doesn't it? It is unlike anywhere else. And it's so great. Especially with the live entertainment. You do not feel like you were at Walt Disney World. And that's the magic of that place. Meg B says we are headed to Disney at the very end of March because hubby is at a conference and got to use points at Dolphin for the rest. Going to take it slow with low expectations. Yeah, enjoy the Dolphin. Do some resort hopping because where you are, you're on that Epcot resort route. You can take the boats to go to like the Yacht and Beach Club and the boardwalk and Disney Springs. Well, take a bus to Disney Springs, but that's nice. Let's see. Hey Nita, how you doing? Good seeing you. Good seeing you. And I heard about that. So that will be interesting. That'll be interesting to see how they do that. Because if it does not surpass the experience that you could have at your regular Dave and Buster's, it's not going to work. Did you see Hagrid's is getting rid of single rider line to try something else? I think even in uneven parties or something like that. Yes, I did hear that. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Let's see. Okay. Absolutely. Thanks for the tips as always. Yes, that's why I am here. That's why I am here. Okay, let's see. Basically, Disney is paving over paradise and putting in a parking lot. So coming to us from that park place, amazing site. You got to check them out. WW Pro, Marvin Montero, and several others who write. So this one's from Marvin. Walt Disney World receives permit to bulldoze Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island. Will move forward with controversial Cars expansion despite fan outcry. So a little bit of background. Where Orlando is, it is the headwaters, which means the origination of the water source that flows south down into the Everglades area. So anything that's headed south that way, towards the Everglades, is the purview of the South Florida Water Management District. So if you're wondering why is South Florida involved in something in Central Florida, this is why. So Disney has officially received approval from the South Florida Water Management District to begin construction on a new Cars-themed land at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, a move that will erase classic attractions like Tom Sawyer Island and significantly alter the Rivers of America, Frontierland, and Liberty Square. So that lovely, Rivers of America, that's like it's in circles, Tom Sawyer Island, and you've got the riverboat. The reason why that fits so perfectly with Frontierland, it's of course you have the Frontierland that seems more like the West, but Rivers of America is basically a replica of the Mississippi River and that type of laid back river lifestyle that Mark Twain wrote about. So that is literally that's Americana, but like another part of Americana, with Frontierland, the Wild West, all of that. Then you have the river and the river economies and the big paddle boats. Like you saw a lot of them, especially in New Orleans. You would see the paddle boats that would go by, and it's such a way to go back in time And especially if you are a fan of classic American literature from Mark Twain. When you're on Tom Sawyer Island, literally, it's like you're literally in the book. And one of my things is that I love literature and I love classic American literature. And reading those books as a kid in school and then going to Tom Sawyer Island, amazing. And especially for people who, if you want to get away from the crowds, Tom Sawyer Island is where you go, or you take a ride on the Liberty Bell. If you have someone who, like, say, is on the spectrum, Tom Sawyer Island is a great place to go. It's just, it's quiet. It's calm. It's not that busy, and it's just beautiful out there. So let's see. The permit issued on February 17th, 2025 gives Disney the green light to modify the 407 basin stormwater system, impacting 61.93 acres of wetlands and surface water. That's basically the Shingle Creek area. Disney has promised to mitigate these environmental impacts through credits from the from the Disney Wilderness Preserve and Mira Lago sites. You know what I think?
Well, you know what I think about that, Cal? Hold on.
That's a bunch of nonsense. That's like, we're going to do this, but we might do this over here to mitigate the environmental impact. Yeah, whatever. But like Marvin writes here, but fans aren't buying the corporate doublespeak. That's exactly what that is. It's okie doke. While Disney ensures compliance with state water quality standards and the Clean Water Act, the real issue for many isn't environmental. It's the destruction of Magic Kingdom's original storytelling and charm in favor of yet another intellectual property cash grab. And that's the thing, right? To bring Epic Universe into this, because I'm going to keep doing this, especially as there are a lot of Imagineers that got laid off from Disney and they went to Universal. One of the most anticipated lands over in Epic Universe, we knew it was Super Nintendo World, that was a given. Dark Universe. Universal went back into their own IP, and brought it to life. I was on the bus from Stella Nova to go to Universal, and you go around the back of the park, and Dark Universe, it looks like something straight out of Eastern Europe. It looks like you walked right into a Bram Stoker or a Mary Shelley novel with how it looks. Universal pioneered the monster films. So the fact that they went back into that and they did that, there's so many people who are like, oh shoot, I can't wait. I can't wait to go to Dark Universe. They went back into there and did that. And if they really wanted to do like a Tiana type of attraction, imagine if they would have brought in like a replica of New Orleans or a replica of Jackson Square and put it in that particular area. And just to remind people, this is Pixar. Disney bought Pixar. They didn't put anything into it. They just bought it. And they bought it because people were recognizing that this is back when Pixar was actually doing really good stuff. They bought it because the Pixar characters had more recognition than Disney characters. Something else, let me tell you. So let's see. This is the concept art. Why does that look like Pandora? To the upper right. That almost looks like a ripoff of Pandora. Something else. Let's see. Kiss My Grit says not only will that new Cars attraction disrupt the Haunted Mansion queue experience, yes. but the noise pollution and excess heat generated from a completely outdoor go-kart ride will not be pleasant. Mm-mm. It's like the speedway, which I think what they should have made that the piston cup. That would have fit perfectly. Yeah, you go over there, it's like the noise and you remember the smell from the Tomorrowland Speedway. It has a distinct smell, but yeah, that close to the haunted mansion, it's going to disrupt that river setting because the haunted mansion at Disney World is like based off of kind of reminds you of the mansions on the Hudson, like the Hudson River Valley, and it looks so creepy when you pass by at night on the Liberty Bell and you go floating past this house and you can see all the crazy effects going on in the windows and everything. It's not it's going to be interesting to see just how much of a eyesore this is going to be. Phil Metzger says Dark Universe looks amazing as the automatronics especially. The animatronics look insane. Every video I've seen, I've slowed it down. I'm like, that's an animatronic? Like a fully articulated animatronic. That is just insane. Let's see. Try to make sure. Hey, Akido, good to see you. Cal 9000, good to see you as well. This is hello all. And yes, Dark Universe is going to be insane. It's going to be insane. Absolutely insane. Let's see. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. Here, waiting in line at the Haunted Mansion, they are making a left turn or a ka-chow. Akido says, Reina Creole, Cars Mountain, I call it, will be the Magic Kingdom version of a Matterhorn. Looking at the art is a giant waterfall on the mountain, a way of telling people the area will still have water. It could be. But here's the thing with Disney concept art, as we know, the attraction usually does not match the concept art. Unlike at Universal, where the concept art for Epic Universe, the real thing looks exactly like the concept art. Something else. Okay, so for decades, Rivers of America, Tom Sawyer Island, and the Liberty Bell Riverboat have offered guests a tranquil, immersive experience rooted in classic Americana. That's right. This area, steeped in nostalgia, has provided a unique break from the increasingly commercialized park landscape. Now, Disney's decision to bulldoze this iconic attraction for a Cars themed land feels like yet another instance of corporate greed trumping creativity and heritage. And that is the crux of Imagineering, you know, creativity, going back into, the fundamentals of what Disney is trying to provide to their parks and providing that experience and not happen now. So let's see. They have the new project will bring two cars themed attractions. One will be a high speed rally race through mountainous terrain, complete with geysers and mud holes. Okay, I guess that's where they're putting the water element in. While another will be a more family friendly cars ride aimed at younger guests. I wonder if they're going to take the Radiator Springs Racers attraction and drop elements of that into this. I'm just I'm just guessing. So construction is expected to begin this year with early site preparations like clearing and grading already on the horizon. In my live streams, you guys have seen the big, huge kaiju crane where they're working on Big Thunder Mountain. Yeah, I'm gonna pull another one over there to Tom Sawyer Island. While Disney executives tout this as an exciting new chapter for the park, longtime fans and Disney purists see it as yet another soulless addition to the parks under Disney Parks Chairman Josh D'Amaro's leadership. And this is the thing. It's no longer a park. It's a compound. A concrete compound. That whole area of Rivers of America was pretty much like a heat sink. And if you went to Tom Sawyer Island, there was so much with the trees and everything that it provided, nice shade for you to go. There's also the little underground cave that you can go in. That was actually nice and cool, to do. But it's so gonna clash with the theme of Frontierland. Frontierland is a look back in time because you go from Liberty Square, where America was born, to how America expanded into the West and the Midwest. And then, of course, you have Big Thunder Mountain. You've got, Splash Mountain that's up there. So that's that whole vibe. So you're going to bring modern go karts into an area that's supposed to look like a look back into the past. Makes zero, goodness. It makes total zero sense. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Ready to knock baseballs at Disney. Yeah, it's got Slytherin. House Slytherin. I know. I love Slytherin. I said Slytherin and there's everybody else. Hold on a second. We got a friend came through. Hey Ron, how you doing?
I'm all right. I've been trying to get this Mark Hamill video edited and up, and now I'm hoping that yes, it does. It passed all the checks on YouTube. Thank God.
All right.
Because I put some fun movie elements into it, and I wanted to make sure none of them hit the copyright thing. So, that's what I was working on this morning, and it took longer than I expected it to. So I apologize for being late. What did I miss?
Oh, we're talking about Disney paving over paradise and putting a parking lot over there in Rivers of America. So they're basically going to destroy just the whole sight line and the whole theming of like a birth of America and then the expansion.
It's not even going to be the Magic Kingdom anymore. I mean, let's be honest.
It's not.
You can't put the Cars franchise into the Magic Kingdom and have it remain anything like it's supposed to be. That is a franchise that does not belong anywhere near the Magic Kingdom. Whoever thought Cars should go into the Magic Kingdom, the Pixar movie, that's just the dumbest thing ever I've seen. It's just I'm like, maybe it was Josh D'Amaro. I've heard he has a fixation on the Cars franchise, but it's bad enough that they're throwing out the Muppets and putting in Monsters Inc. over there in Hollywood Studios. I mean, it's already a ruined park. Like the people in charge of Disney now, they seem so clueless as to what Disney is supposed to be. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's nuts. Instead of and I brought this up earlier, I said it would have been obvious and I think much more acceptable if they turned Tomorrowland Speedway.
Oh, the irony. I just realized what cup I'm drinking out of. and apparently we had this. I think this is one of the cups that we had in one of the restaurants I worked at. Somebody probably left it on the table and I just took it home. Shh.
Well, I was saying it's like it would have been too obvious and too simple to change the Tomorrowland Speedway into the Piston Cup. That would actually work, although Cars is more suited to being over in the studios than over in the Magic Kingdom. But if you were going to put it in the Magic Kingdom at least that would be something of, okay, this is where the speedway used to be. All right, let's go ahead and do that, because you would actually recreate something from the film. And that's what the Magic Kingdom really does from its inception, putting you into those films and those animated experiences that you remember. And it would leave, the rivers of America alone. But the fact that Disney is going for two IPs that they bought, they didn't produce, that they bought. And also, when's the last, I mean, Pixar had a hit with Inside Out, okay, but who's been talking about Cars?
I don't know.
Or Monsters Inc.
I was wondering. I'm assuming that the attraction probably doesn't have a name yet. So I think that when it goes in, instead of calling it the Piston Cup, they should call it the Pissed Off Cup, because they're going to piss off most of the people going to the park. This is just it. I don't know. I mean, okay. Let me put this in a different light, though. Okay, let's see the sunshine at the end of this rainbow, shall we? Magic Kingdom, the attendance is going to drop so dramatically that there'll be plenty of room to walk around. It's just this kind of thing is so stupid. I don't know what they're doing. Permit to bulldoze rivers of America. It's by the way, there's some structural if they don't do this right, if you know anything about the structure of the Magic Kingdom, the bottom of the rivers of America, there's a wall to the utilidor right there. So on the side when you're when you're about to get on the boat, like if you were to go underneath at that point, that you'd see a wall, and that wall is the utilidor right there. Like that's like when they drain the rivers, you can kind of clearly see it. I remember when they drained the river last time a couple years ago, you could clearly see that there's that wall, and that wall happens to be the utilidor. Big bad news if they accidentally crush that thing while they're doing this demolition work. I mean, huge bad news, because cast members are going to have a hard time getting around. You could crumble the structure. People don't realize if anything happens to that utilidor, the entire Magic Kingdom gets crushed underneath it, because the Magic Kingdom is the second floor of a building, sort of, whereas the utilidor is the first floor of this building. And oh boy, could that be a mess. I mean, it's dumb on so many levels. Plus, I think that this is the kind of project that they're going to see the costs balloon astronomically on as they go along, not realizing that they're looking at the cost right now and going, okay, well, to put infrastructure into this other land that's on the outskirts of Magic Kingdom, right? That's still land available, but you have to put infrastructure in. There's a cost to that. So they're thinking, okay, we got this infrastructure here already. But if you kill that infrastructure while you're doing this bulldozing work and tearing it down, the costs are going to balloon up, because it costs more to repair than it does to build in the first place. And they're going to have, I just see so many major issues with this. I do see there is a possibility that this project still gets canceled, but we'll see, because they're supposed to start doing this later this year.
And yeah, it's like we'll see what happens. Not pleased. CJ says, who has been talking about Inside Out too? Sure, it made money, but do people actually talk about it, discuss it at all? I've never heard anyone, but I don't hang with kids. So no. I mean, it did well, but let me put this in perspective. When the first Cars movie came out, was it Hot Wheels? They made a crap ton of money off of like the little die-cast cars. I mean, people were buying the cars. They had limited editions, of the cars. People were buying, the Cars merchandise. There was a Cars video game. It was insane with the merchandising that they had with that. Cars 2, it didn't really do that well, but it did okay, enough to keep the merchandise out there, because cars are pretty much timeless. And in that movie, they had the different type of cars from the different eras. So that's what made that so appealing. And, boys like cars. So it was great for, the young male demographic and, grown boys too, because they were collecting, especially the classic cars. They were collecting all of that. But Inside Out 2, no, there's no merchandise
You know,
really that people are clamoring for.
you may have already discussed this too, but the irony of this particular project and what the Cars movie was about.
Yes.
I mean, it's like you're literally like just going against what the Cars movie was about to do this very project. It's so dumb. It's like, oh god. I guess stories don't matter.
Not in this case. They think of problematic stories. Yeah. And Goofar 35 hit the point exactly what I was saying. To be fair, for Cars, it's the merch that Disney just sells. It's basically Disney Hot Wheels. Yes. That's exactly what it was. And especially if you bought the ones for Click and Clack. The only show I think on NPR that I would listen to was the Car Guys, and they did the voices of that. So that was like you could hardly get that one, at all. But let's see, Phil Metzger has a great point. We'll wrap up this story with this point. There's a post from Joshua L. Harris showing that we can all email Disney on his X account post. So here it is right here from Joshua L. Harris. Yes, there's absolutely a chance the removal of the Liberty Bell has been postponed indefinitely, and expensive work to repair its boiler, among other things, is going ahead. Also, a lot of people are backtracking / gaslighting by saying only a part of Rivers of America is going away. So, what he was urging is that Disney enthusiasts to send emails to the company expressing their opposition to the project. You want to keep the messages short, polite, G-rated, noting that this is the most effective way to be heard. So it's like whether or not it'll change things, who knows? But you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So you can email Disney. Again, keep it short, polite, but firm, and just keep it that way. So that's actually a very, very good point to bring up. Short, polite, and rated. Well, I'm out.
Yeah, right. You mother. But listen, Bob, I'm gonna yeah. Edit that. Edit.
Edit that. Edit that. Edit that. It's like when you first write the draft, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm
Reina,
out.
I have heard nothing. Okay, I've heard nothing about the Play Pavilion. Like there was no unannouncement of the Play Pavilion. It just sort of dropped off the off the radar, whatever. The building was worked on, the exterior of the building, we all saw it being worked on. There's something that happened. Apparently now there's some offices in there. But here's the question is, what the heck happened while they were excavating that building or trying to prep it for the Play Pavilion or whatever? I'm guessing there's a very good chance that this Rivers of America project could potentially go that way because something happened that stopped it. I think more than the pandemic era where we couldn't touch anything for a couple of years, like people were remember spraying your groceries with Lysol. Why are we doing this? This is so dumb. Anyway, that all went away, and it's been gone away since I guess for about 3 years, right? So
yeah,
there's no excuse. Arcades are all open and all that kind of stuff. So something happened. Something clearly happened that they're not talking about with the actual building or structure or whatever. And of course, it's a dramatically large piece of property at Epcot that's just sitting there wasting away and can be used for something good. And I really wish that they would do something with that before you get to all this other destruction crud. I mean, it's just the priorities, right? The priorities are so messed up. I mean,
Really
look at
are.
the Splash Mountain priority. The Splash Mountain project only took priority because of something that happened in the news. I
Is that
just
the
don't
Summer of Love?
like that. That's so weird to me that what happened, like, I don't, it would be like, because there was a recent upside down plane crash and
Mm-hmm.
then people escaped. It'd be like, oh, let's put a permanent attraction in a park of an upside down plane that people can walk out of, like an escape room or something. Like you don't do that, right? You don't base something permanent on something that was temporary. That's it's just the priorities of the people that work there are just messed up.
It totally messed up. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. And what it boils down to is that Disney has lost its way. It's become so detached from its heritage. They keep saying they're not worried about Epic Universe, but yes, they should be very worried about Epic Universe because, as I've said, there are so many similarities of Celestial Park to Main Street USA that is uncanny. Celestial Park is basically a Victorian era reproduction. They've got the gardens, they've got the water, they've got the architecture. I want to see the Pizza Moon restaurant. It looks so cool. It looks like, Victorian era, kind of like with like the, I want to say not theater seating, but like the sets, and they've got like the old picture of like the moon from the 1800s, that little like short movie that they had. And that's what it looks like. Helios is the weenie in the park. Without saying, that's exactly
It's a it's
what it is.
a very big weenie.
Yes,
It's a huge weenie.
yes, you can't miss that they have going on. But Disney, they've so detached themselves from their own heritage that they're spinning and just, we don't know what to do. We'll throw stuff, see what happens. The people, the old school Imagineering, that type of talent base is not there anymore because a lot of them got pushed out and they're working for, Virgin Atlantic, or no, I think it was their space thing, or they're working for Universal or other places. But another thing, to wrap the story up, it's not as if the South Florida Water Management District just issued a permit and said, yeah, we'll see you when it's done. Oh no, there's interim inspections that have to happen. So I think this is not going to be as straightforward as Disney would like. So
Well,
we're gonna have to.
to be fair, there's just not a lot of straight things left at Disney.
Yes, this is true. This is very true. Tom F says the old Disney was great. This new stuff is beyond raw cow dung. Yeah, and yet they want to charge people a bunch of money for it. But speaking of a bunch of money, and this brings us to our last Disney destruction story of the day. Coming from Pirates and Princesses, Disney may use flexible pricing stateside. Now, read the flippin' room. So this is written by Cambria Pratt, aka Geeky Sparkles. Disney apparently can't get enough money since the theme park guests are now their endless piggy bank. While attendance is down, spending per guest is up. Instead of making it more affordable, Disney is reportedly going to do the opposite. So, a new rumor coming from WDW News Today, emphasis on rumor, but I wouldn't put it past Disney to do this, is that the Walt Disney World and Disneyland theme parks may implement the flexible ticket pricing that they use in Disneyland Paris. So if you don't know what flexible ticket pricing is, it's kind of like if you've ever used Uber, and if there's, like, say you're at a concert venue, right? your price going to the concert venue is usually cheaper, but when there's a whole bunch of people that are trying to leave, guess what? Your price just got jacked up with a surge pricing attached to it. So some people, like if you booked your ride before everybody was leaving the concert theater, you're paying a lesser price than the people who are stuck behind whoever and they've got to wait. So it can be a difference of like 30 to 40 bucks just for that. So if someone decides, hey, we're going to go to the Magic Kingdom in the morning, let's say they get quoted one price. And then the people who show up like around noon, they get quoted something even more expensive.
So could it be different prices during the day?
Yes.
Seriously? Like,
yes. Yes, that's exactly how this works.
I haven't looked at this article at all yet. So this is like, I can't, this is almost beyond belief. I'm sorry. It's weird.
It's because they're already
does that mean
doing
on the
it.
4th of July, it's really, really cheap to enter until 8:00 at night? And then so like it's $10 for the day for the 4th of July. Get everybody in. But once you want to go at 7:00 at night, it's $200. Because the 4th of July has not been busy the last 3 years. It's been dead.
No, it hasn't, especially since, America is problematic, and usually that insane 4th of July fireworks show that usually went on for like 15 to 20 minutes, I think was only like 9 minutes. I'm like, where's the rest of the show? And it's not,
it's over at
there.
Universal.
Yeah, it's over at Universal and
like doing
SeaWorld.
some big parties, I think, at Universal this year.
Oh yeah, especially for the 4th of July. And the secret about that is Universal has actually been doing things for the 4th of July. They'll have people there out on stilts, Lady Liberty, Uncle Sam. Remember how Walt Disney World used to look for 4th of July? There's this like flags freaking everywhere, and it was just basically America, heck yeah. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. But Universal
Disney still in a lot of people's minds is Americana. I mean, but literally Disney has been trying to shed that image for the last 15 years against its better interest, by the way. And I think that, I don't know, maybe Bob spent too much time in China, or maybe he was in China with President Xi over there and discussing how, I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was like overseeing the live action Mulan and said, oh, the camps are down there, we should shoot right next to it. I don't know what he's doing, but it's not the like Disney is so, like, people think of America, people think of the United States when they think of Disney. People think of America, Americana. That's who Walt was. Walt was very much a patriot and even helped in the process of winning World War II, literally helped the United States win World War II, the Disney company. And now it's the current leadership, I think they just don't like that. It's really weird because obviously there was a major shift that may happen in the country over the last 4 months. And I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up with that shift.
I don't think that they are. I agree. Flexible pricing, is that even legal? Liam, they're going to try it. There's this phrase that I've heard a lot of C-level executives use. It's much easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. So they're going to try it and see if it works, because they already do it at Disneyland Paris.
There's probably a conversation like Josh Tomorrow and Bob Iger are walking down the hall, and Bob pitches this to Josh, and Josh looks over at Bob and says, "Is that legal?" And Bob says, "We'll make it legal."
I totally can see that. Because their whole board, if you remember, their whole board, nobody has theme park experience. You've got executives from wealth funds, from Cisco, from Nike. I mean, no one who has any kind of theme park knowledge. And there was actually a proposal that was put for a vote from the shareholders that said we need to have someone in that on the board who has firsthand line experience with running the parks. And do you know what the board recommended? That we vote no on that proposal. And it got voted down. So they are so disconnected. And this brings me back to this one. Nita says, how are families to know how to budget? It's yet another variable price that is going to be really annoying. I mean, can you imagine trying to set up a trip and you have your tickets and everything in the basket, and it's just like, okay, I got to call, I got to check something. You come back and you try to check out and your price is increased by $300. I mean, it's kind of like, because Amazon will do that too with certain items. You will notice that the price will change sometimes. I have noticed that, but it's yet another hurdle of nickel and diming, middle class families, and they're just going to be like, you know what, I don't have time. I don't have time to do that. BR Guy says Ticketmaster does flexible pricing to an insane degree. Oh, I can see that. I can totally see that. And don't here's another thing. Disney has so much data and so many models and AI to integrate with those models that flexible pricing can most likely change depending on who you are, because Disney knows exactly how many times you've come to the parks, what you bought, where you live. And if they want to, like, say, this person likes to come by here, well, maybe up the price somewhat. Or, like, say someone who's planning a trip is from an area where there aren't a lot of people that visit Disney World, they may get a lower price. So it's scary, but trust me, that's the reason, yet another reason why Disney has those reservation systems, so they can get your data and use your data. And they don't use it for your benefit. That's for sure.
That's the other creepy thing. If you've ever worked for the company, the very first time that you work for Disney specifically, you get what's it called, a PERNer number, like a personal identification number with Disney. That never changes. If you leave the company, or even if you get fired, but they welcome you back or whatever, you still have your record is permanent. They don't wipe out anything of anything they've done. There's no forgiveness of anything. They are very the way the company is run is like a dictatorship. Like, it literally, the company is very much run kind of like a how do I put this? It's run as if the company were Germany in the 1930s. What's the best way to put that? Like, you got to be lockstep in line with how they want, or you're gone. But the weird part is lockstep in line right now is extreme far left wing, like all the leftist stuff. I mean, if you look at the things, for example, that their insurance will pay for, and right now, if you're in Florida and if you're a woman and you're wanting to terminate a certain condition that you have, I won't go into all of it, but they will pay you to leave the state if you need to leave the state to go elsewhere to do that. They also pay for certain surgeries that may change how you identify or whatever. I mean, that, like, they're fine with all that. They're fine with all that. But the moment you say, I like the orange man, you gotta walk on eggshells the rest of your career.
All I know is, and no joke, I had heard someone tell me, they were just like, Universal, great company if you can get in. Disney, skip it. They were just like, I know so many people who work for them and they have the worst experience. I'm like, dang,
I
I
did
believe it.
I did have a very good experience working for Universal. I can say that it was a very short period of time. I was technically considered an employee for a year because that's how they do it. Like even if you're hired
Mhm.
temporarily, you you have that. If you're a seasonal employee, like I was with Halloween Horror Nights, you're considered an employee uh, for a up to a year after your last work date, even if you haven't worked. They also said that if I wanted to keep my seasonal status, I could have just come in and worked a few hours here and there anywhere. I chose not to, um, but I'm sure that my status with that company is probably good if I ever wanted to go back and work there. Um, they were it was a really great experience all around. It was 2010, so it was a while back, but I
Mhm.
had a great experience working for the company, so can't say anything bad
Yeah.
about it.
And Universal, remember during the pandemic, or the Wu-Tang flu as I like to call it, they did not lay their employees off. They did not. They did not. They didn't lay them off. They took really good care of them, and they didn't fire them via email, like that. Hey, Kiss My Grits, thank you so very much for that 9.99 super chat. Let's see. Thank you so much, my dear. It says, per the New York Times, analysts are predicting Epic to attract 10 million visitors in year one. Universal overall will steal at least 1 million visitors from Disney through 2026. In my opinion, AK and DHS will be affected the worst. Yeah, I read that New York Times article. I went over to archive.org because I wasn't going through the paywall, where it says here Universal's theme parks long in Disney shadow, expanding at a dizzying pace. Universal is going after Disney, the industry leader, with new parks in Florida and Texas. We want people to think of us first. Now, it's not like Universal woke up one day and said, hey, we want to build this parks. No, they have been surveying, doing market research, asking guests what they would like, how they compare to Disney. This has been a concerted effort over years. So 10 million visitors in year one, I believe it. Again, remember where Epic Universe is situated. The Orange County Convention Center is in walking distance. Okay. They are located right in that International Drive area, not that far from Icon Park, not that far from SeaWorld. Imagine people just coming in for conventions, and that convention center is booked out, I think at least 5 years in advance or something like that, with the amount of people. Like, case in point, MegaCon had 150,000 people,
Oh my gosh, they're
conservative
gonna have an
and
epic night at MegaCon next year. I just realized that.
yes, yes, they will. And you don't have to wait that long to get over there, just where it is. I totally believe this. 10 million visitors, plus they're going to have, I think the Bright Line is going to stop through there as well. I think they're working on the station for it. I'm not quite sure, but I can totally see this. 10 million. And that they're going to take a lot of visitors from Disney. People who visit Disney probably say, "Oh, yeah, we'll probably go for one day or whatever." But most
I
of their money is going to be spent staying in the Universal area, like over near Epic Universe, because not only do you have Epic Universe's hotels, their Value Plus hotels, plus Helios as well. You've got Staybridge Suites, you've got I think Embassy Suites, a whole bunch of other hotels that would be like um, good neighbor hotels. So many
There's even one
options.
that looks just like a castle.
Yes, the cat. It used to be pink too. That was great.
I will say there is. I don't think it can ever change, but it is the one issue that Universal has, or that Disney has over Universal, and that is the branding of the name. It's because it's a thing in people's heads, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Universal is associated with movies, this is kind of an odd thing when you think about it. Universal is very much associated with movies. It just is, like people say, ba, 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 like we hear it in our head, everything, it's there. Disney is far more associated with their parks. Now, I think because they've had different brands of the movies with Touchstone and all this stuff, but when people have this idea in their head of what a Disney park is supposed to be, and they still actually think it's that, a lot of people don't pay attention to this kind of stuff, like what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they plan a Disney vacation, they talk to their travel agent, or they go to an online group where all they discuss is positive, 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 and they don't allow any negative feedback and that kind of thing. And so they go, and they're like, what the heck did I pay for? It's not until they get there and have had the experience that it becomes so bad. I don't know if you saw, did you see the film threat? Alan Ng was, he was here at MegaCon. He went to Universal, went to MegaCon, and then he went to Disney with his entire family. I don't know if you saw his criticism. His
No, I didn't get a chance to. I didn't.
So it's on. If you get a chance, watch it. It's very good. What a nice guy, by the way. Super nice guy. It just so happened that when we were going to the Geeks and Gamers meetup, we happened to be at security together at Universal. So we walked in together and we had a good chat. So, tiny little bit of time, but I got to know him a little bit. And he was getting ready to go to Disney. He hadn't been yet. And I said, well, just be prepared. It may not be, what it used to be for you. And boy, he came back and kind of railed on the value, because the last time he had gone to Disney World was 20 years ago. And he's like, he's like, it is literally, I'm not even kidding you, literally twice the price and half the value. So you're getting, you put those two together and you get a quarter of what you used to get for the money you're paying. And it's sad. I wish more people were dialed in. I can't say, knowing what I know about a Disney park, if I lived somewhere other than Florida, I would not plan a Disney vacation. I would plan a Universal vacation.
Yeah, agreed.
For
That's
sure.
what happened in 2018, which was the worst Disney stay that I had. Granted, I did get upgraded at the Grand Floridian at no extra cost, but considering the parks were crowded, how expensive things were becoming, and I think that was the year that they were instituting a parking charge. I got around it because my trip was booked before that went into effect. But it seemed like everywhere we went, it was just not the experience. And when Camera Girl, who loved Disney, I mean, she loves classic Disney, when she turned to me and said, I think I'm done visiting Disney for right now. Let's go to Universal.
Wow.
I'm like, wow. I'm just like, are you sure that this is the kid that I had to pack no less than 5 princess dresses to take to the parks because she wanted to be. This was back in the day where you saw lots of little girls who had dresses on. They went to the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique and all of that when it was fun. She was just like, no, I don't want to go anymore. But you got Epic Universe and stuff. This is the fireworks test.
Woo! Now, can I speak to this real quick?
Yeah.
They have a full fireworks license at Epic Universe. They cannot do the fireworks shows full at Universal because they are adjacent to apartment complexes. So I don't know if a lot of people realize that, but they literally sit like there is a, you know when you drive there, there's an apartment complex, and there's the employee parking lot. They're right next to each other.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's just too close to Universal to do a full fireworks. So if you watch the shows at Universal, you see some fireworks. They're very limited and smaller fireworks. They don't have a full license. At Epic, they can do shows as big as Disney. That's why if you ever went to Universal and you were like, why don't they do fireworks shows as big as Disney? They can't. They don't have the space to be able to do it there. Epic's got a lot of space, and the funny thing is there are some apartment complexes that almost look like they back up to Epic, but there's enough. They planned it so that there's enough space between parking lots and other structures, so that all of where they're going to set fireworks off is in a place where you'll be able to see them really well, and at the same time, they're not interfering with any other structures around. So. I mean, look, fireworks, flying dragons. They'll probably figure out a way to have those dragons breathe fire in the air while they're going along.
I know where he took this from. He was at the parking garage at Universal, and you can see Epic Universe from there. I am just Universal's fireworks remind me of what Disney's fireworks used to be. And they've just plussed it up. I can't wait. 4th of July, and yes, I have tickets to go 4th of July
to Epic.
Oh, because I want to
you're making me
see
jealous.
what they do for 4th of July, and they've already said that it's going to be basically a love letter to America. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait, because I used to go. It used to be a thing that you would go to the Magic Kingdom for the 4th of July. Remember when people would go and camp out at the Magic Kingdom? You would do that for the 4th of July because it was basically America. This is great. Blah blah blah. No, they don't want to do that anymore.
As the great Sam Eagle would say, a tribute to all the nations of the world, but mostly America. But in this case, only America. Forget the other nations of the world.
Forget the other ones. Y'all didn't put in on this, So yeah, you didn't. But again, we're gonna get to some Texas news. Again, Universal, it's like they're just scattershot everywhere with the stuff that they've got going on. So opening in 2026 in Frisco, Texas, Universal Kids Resort will feature lands themed around beloved characters such as DreamWorks animation Shrek, Puss in Boots, Trolls, Gabby's Dollhouse, SpongeBob SquarePants, Illuminations, Minions, as well as Jurassic World. So basically, what they're doing is taking a little bit from Islands of Adventure, a little bit from the Studios Park, and a little bit from the DreamWorks land in the Studios Park. And this is completely like a family-friendly thing.
What's this closest to? What big city is this closest to?
I don't know. I don't know my Texas
I didn't know if this was like Dallas, San Antonio, Houston. It's got to be somewhere in the vicinity of a large city, because that's it's needed for the structure.
Let's see.
And also, which one of these bands that they have there is going to have a fiddle in it? Because if you're gonna play in Texas, you've got to have a fiddle in the band.
Oh, let's see. BR Guy says the Jurassic World part was the biggest surprise. Yeah, I didn't know they were going to put that in there. But if they take parts of the Jurassic World that's over at Islands of Adventure, especially the part where you go inside and it's got like the little dinosaur hatchery, and they'll bring out a little raptor puppet, and there's all these little games that you can play. And in addition, they also have like dinosaur statues and stuff that's over there. That's why I tell people, if you want like a little break and it's raining, you can take the kids over in there. It's like the best photo ops ever.
The the
Oh, near
ride.
Dallas. Okay. Okay.
Okay. The ride that was featured in the Jurassic World movie, where they got into a big glass sphere like thing,
Mm-hmm.
using simulation technology, I imagine they could probably do a version of that ride somewhere. I don't know if it would be kind of like Soarin' or Avatar is with a giant movie around it. Maybe they could put that into like where Back to the Future used to be in the Simpsons ride is, something like that. I'm not sure exactly how. They probably could do it in that type of a situation. Instead of getting into the car that used to be the DeLorean, but now it's the car for the Simpsons ride. If they
Mm-hmm.
designed that vehicle to look like the big glass sphere thing, and you got into it, and then when you got into it, you they simulated with the movie and everything rolling into the Jurassic Park. I bet they could do a version of that ride somewhere, so that it made you feel like you're actually kind of there. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to see. I would love to see, especially with Dino Land USA going away at Disney. I think they should lean in to the Jurassic attractions at the Universal parks, specifically because, to me, the Jurassic attractions are more fun than the movies. It's actually true for Harry Potter for me. The I like the Jurassic properties and the Harry Potter properties going into them at the parks better
Mm-hmm.
than the movies themselves. It's just, I don't know, something about feeling like I'm a part of it. I don't love the Harry Potter movie story, but I love Harry Potter Land, which is so weird because I had the exact opposite feeling for Star Wars. At the Star Wars Land is such a dud at the
Well,
parks.
it's the immersion. You go and you hear the John Williams score. And when you go, even if you've never seen a Harry Potter movie, you walk into the wizarding world of Harry Potter, and the immersion is absolutely insane. It's like without
I
the
I
movie, you
love
get
the
an idea.
fact I love the fact that J.K. Rowling, she put her foot down with Disney, which is one of the reasons Disney didn't get that property. She said,
Mhm.
because Disney wanted final say on everything, and she said, no, I get final say. It's my property. I wrote the damn thing. And Universal, she went to Universal after Disney, and Universal said, okay, yeah, final, we'll give you final approval on
Yeah.
everything. And she herself, we know that J.K. Rowling has walked through every single one of these Harry Potter lands to make sure every nook and cranny is looked at and touched and approved by her, by the person who wrote Harry Potter. That is freaking cool, just to know that. It's probably why um, the Pandora, the land of Avatar, is actually a better land than Galaxy's Edge, because I think
Mhm.
what's
James
his name?
Cameron.
Yeah, I think James Cameron. I don't know that he had final approval, but he definitely went through and had a
He
lot more
did.
say
He
in
created
that.
control over
Yeah,
that project, so that's why when that was announced, when I heard that, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, this sucker's gonna be, on point." So he had, you know, Imagineers around him, plus you also had Joe Rohde
yeah, of
working with,
course.
like, one of the last great Imagineers that Disney has ever had, and that's the reason why Pandora Land is what made the Animal Kingdom park go from a half-day park to a full-day park. People will wait in line 3 hours to ride Flight of Passage, and it sounds weird, but it's actually worth it because just like the old school Disney Imagineering, the immersion starts as soon as you get in the queue. And with all the stuff that they have, you're literally walking through the film. It's just totally amazing.
It makes me it makes me want to write a parody song that goes, "We've lost our spark, imagination. We do not have it. We can't create." Imagineers have gone to Universal.
Oh, just like
Uh,
Grit says, in my opinion, Universal is taking a big risk building a park that only caters to kids ages 3 through 9, which will limit repeat visits. However, if kids is a massive success, Universal execs are geniuses. I will say, seeing what I have seen at DreamWorks Land in the studios, this is going to make quite an amount of amount of money with so many kids that I've seen over there. The foods that you can get, like a Schrecksel with booger green cheese to dip to dip your pretzel in. They actually have that. They have like Donkey's waffles. They have like a Donkey and Shrek meet and greet. And King Harold's like frogs and everything. The fact
Bud.
that you can actually
Why?
sign a Budweiser in that, so they probably are going to
Bud.
have
Why?
some, adult stuff thrown in there. I've seen people when they've noticed that they could do like recreate the Budweiser frogs. They're like moving the kids out the way. Wait a minute, I have to get this. I have to get this. So it's so cool seeing the parents and the kids. And the kids are like, why is that so funny?
Yeah, it's just funny. That's good. Good
It's
stuff.
perfect. The perfect. Yeah.
This I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be direct competition to the Heartland America. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think Heartland America is going to happen. I know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if you know this, Lorena, but the guy that's supposed to be in charge of creating the Heartland America Park and I worked. He was my boss directly
Oh.
in Branson, Missouri, and also he played my dad in the stage play, the musical play that we were in Branson, Missouri. So I got to know him really well, and he was old at
Mhm.
that time. He was like 80. He's like almost 100 now. So I mean, he was
Wow.
so late 70s, but he's almost 100 years old now, and I don't know if the Heartland America Park is going to happen, especially if they're building it right in the middle of Tornado Alley, which is where Veneta,
Yeah.
Oklahoma is. I don't think that's necessarily the best location. I would love for a park to be built in Middle America that does compete directly with these parks. Like, I mean, we're here, we're on the coast, we got Universal, we got Disney. I think it's great. I think it's great that California's got Universal, they've got Disney, they got Knott's Berry Farm, they got a whole bunch of other parks out there too. But there isn't really a park in the Middle America that will compete. And even this Universal Park, it's still, I think, going to have too small of a footprint to compete on a major scale
Mhm.
with our East and West Coast parks. I know that, but of course, you also look at the research that Walt did when he put Disney in Florida. There was a lot of research. It was going to go in St. Louis. It didn't go in St. Louis. It was going to go in New York. It didn't go in New York. There were a lot of. I think he really wanted it in New York City for a while, but the weather just that couldn't
Just
happen.
didn't work.
And
And
so
the whole thing was when he told Roy, his brother Roy, what he wanted to do, and was like, "You want to build a theme park in a swampland in interior Florida? How are you going to get the people to go?" And he's like, just got to get the people from the East Coast to drive down. Again, I-95,
yeah.
all of the ABC affiliates in the top urban markets in the Northeast. Literally, that's how they did it, and
Yeah.
that's the majority of who they get to get down. But
Plus, Walt had this voice in his head that said, "If you build it, they will come."
and they did,
It was a
and they did.
field of dreams.
It totally did. I can't tell you how many people had the same experience. Yeah, we loaded up the family truckster and, and drove, and it was like an epic experience. And I remember when I first got my driver's license, my parents were like, "Okay, you can drive now." So I had to drive from Maryland all the way to the Georgia state line because nobody wanted to drive through DC or the Carolinas. So I'm the
Uh,
one who got to drive. But
just as
yeah,
a quick side note, and I'm not going to say why I'm saying this exactly, but please, if you are driving through the state of Georgia, especially, watch your speed. I'm just saying.
yes,
I'm
they're
just
looking
saying.
for you. They are looking for you. But speaking of expansion to other areas, and I've been very excited about this. Universal Horror Unleashed opening date announced and tickets on sale. So
Is this
this is
Vegas?
basically, yeah, this is Vegas. So this is a
Cool.
Halloween Horror Nights experience in Vegas, and it's absolutely brilliant because Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, I can't, you've seen my live streams. It is insane how many people go to Halloween Horror Nights. It's like one of the craziest things that I've ever seen, with the amount of people, with the quality of the haunted houses. The food, not so much, but the scare zones and everything are amazing. So I'm not surprised they're porting this to Vegas. So let's see. Halloween Horror Nights. I'm trying to look for. Okay, so it officially opens on August 14th of 2025. And let's see. Here's the tickets. So they've got Nevada resident rates, but general admission ticket, one-time access. Enter each haunted house once, and I believe there's 4 of them that they're going to have. $69. Nevada resident is $59 if you want to enter each house like twice.
That seems really reasonable.
Yeah.
Like
Here's where you get the real value. You can get unlimited access to all 4 haunted houses for $99. Well, starting from $99. So you can go through as many times
is there any age restriction?
I don't think so. Usually what they'll do, and I've seen little kids at Halloween Horror Nights. So what they'll do is they recommend that it's for kids 13 and older, but if you bring your little kids, especially if you had weird little kids, like I was that weird kid, they can take them in there anyway. So it looks like the houses that they have, Universal Monsters, Demonic Possession at Bloomhouse's The Exorcist Believer. Honestly, this house you can skip. It was not received very well at Halloween Horror Nights. So I don't know if they changed it. All I know is the movie sucks. They should have just gone with the original Exorcist. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre house was insane. And I've watched that movie so many times. This is like the star experience, is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. Scarecrow the Reaping, that's an original story. Universal does pretty well with their original haunted houses. So I would say 3 out of the 4 is really worth doing. Exorcist the Believer, I don't know. That one's not really too good, but this is a gold mine to have in Vegas. So it's going to be in Area 15 district, a preeminent 40-acre immersive experience entertainment district and events destination in Las Vegas. So I knew about Area 15, but in addition to the haunted houses, with admission, guests will also enjoy access to the entire experience, including the themed bars and live entertainment as they journey through the 100,000 square foot building.
Wait, this is all that Area 15 is all indoors? Oh, I guess that makes sense. You kind of have to have things all indoors in Vegas.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, you have to.
I'm trying to. How hot it is.
God, it's been 25 years since I lived there, but it's like, it's man, that's gonna be crazy.
This is gonna be nuts.
I'll probably get my job back as a gondolier. I don't want to live Vegas. I always said this when I lived there, and I don't know how it is now, but when I lived there, it was like, this is like the greatest place on earth to work. It's money is made here hand over fist so easily. You sneeze and you make money, but it's a crappy place to live. because outside of Vegas itself, you got to drive a long way to get anywhere. And Vegas is very self-contained within this little valley. And it's pretty. The Red Rock Valley is pretty, and it's nice to drive into Utah, California, wherever around. St. George is about an hour and a half away, and California is, California's right down the street. But then, like, it's nothing. You're driving through the desert. You're driving through what's it called? The valley, the dead something. I forgot what.
Death Valley.
Death Valley. That's it.
Yeah,
you're driving through Death Valley.
Yeah, I did that drive from California, from LA to Vegas.
And the speed limit's 75, and everybody's going 115 miles an hour. You're like, wow, why is everybody? Yeah, that's a crazy.
There's no snow in the mountain pass, because I was driving up. I'm like, wait a minute, is this freaking snow? And there's like nothing. And then boom, there's Vegas. Hey, Chris.
You do get to see the world's largest thermometer, though. So there's that.
I did see that. But this experience is going to be awesome. The drinks at Halloween Horror Nights are always awesome. I'm thinking the bars will probably be a recreation of like when they do the Dead Coconut Club and how they retheme things there. But yeah, that's it. Yet another one. So we've got a kids experience in Texas. We've got a grown-up experience for the most part in Vegas with Universal. Also, coming from Blog Mickey, Universal plans on expandifying use of the Wicked IP in theme parks. I can totally see this because, one, Wicked has a rabid fan base of theater kids. They go to the movies, they go to the performances, everybody's in cosplay. All you see is like green and pink all over the place. The movie did extremely well. This experience that's over at Universal, it has like sets inside, constantly busy. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did this, whether it's a recreation of Shiz University or whatever. I would not be surprised. I'm not surprised that they're doing this, because it's making money. So you're gonna see Wicked in the parks for the eventually. I don't know if it's going to be an expansion to the studios, or if they're going to put it in. Well, they probably will put it in the studios, or nah, I'm thinking it's going to stay in the studios. I'm just saying that right now. And the last update, I'm actually going to show you this picture. So from BioReconstruct, who has been doing God's work with documenting how Epic Universe has been building. This is the entryway into Epic Universe. I'm gonna point something out in a minute. BR Guys said the production design for Wicked was beautiful. If they make it a proper immersive land, it'll be wonderful to behold. Yes, especially if they do Oz. It's gonna be insane. When I look at this portal, why am I reminded of At the Magic Kingdom when you walk through one of the portals, and what does it say? Here you entered today of yesterday. I'm forgetting the quote, but they do have the quote that's on there. And it's so cool to see that. I can't believe here yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I'm blanking on the exact words, but they are put above each portal. And interesting how Epic Universe has one that says, beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams.
Oh, that's better. Here's what it says, Lorraine. It says, here you leave today and enter the world of yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy.
Yes.
And I'm reading it. I just looked it up. So
I'm glad you did, because I forgot it. But I'm
yeah.
I'm just like, I know it was up there. It was a plaque that was up there, and I saw this, and I'm just like, that's a direct callback.
Well, and more direct callback. This doesn't feel as true anymore when you go into the Magic Kingdom. I will say this. Here's what's cool about the Magic Kingdom. When you first walk in, Main Street USA, they haven't changed it. It looks the same. When you first glance down Main Street USA and you see the castle, that still looks the same. It's really nice. But what I did notice, especially at Christmas time last time, is that it all ends at the castle. Like there's just like you go past it, you go into Adventureland, Fantasyland, Frontierland, Liberty Square, any of the area, Tomorrowland. There's no more decorations. I mean, yeah, you have a permanent Christmas store there, but it doesn't seem like they want to celebrate nostalgia at all anymore. And Walt Disney, while he did emphasize the need to continue to grow and change and meet the needs of tomorrow and all that stuff, he also emphasized the need to continue to have nostalgia. That's very, very important. Our past was extremely important to Walt Disney, and the people who are in charge of the Walt Disney Company, they do not want it to be about Walt Disney anymore. It's kind of like how you probably can't imagine this, but could you imagine like if Captain America went to a different country and said, "Well, I'm Captain America, but it's not really about America." Oh wait, that did happen.
That did happen.
We're the Walt Disney Company, but it's not about Walt Disney. They're doing the same thing. It's weird. How did we let these people get in charge?
There's something I'm looking at. Let me see if I can I get it? I think these are LED lights.
Yeah,
on the ground.
Amazing at night.
Oh my gosh. And I don't think pressure washing is gonna hurt them.
I was gonna say, I will bet they will work.
Yeah. They will actually
Can you zoom in enough that we can see what that says, that plaque? That I think you had it zoomed for a second. I'm like, I can read it.
Let's see. They got it.
That is the wrong way.
It's like it won't do it any further than that. I keep trying to blow it up, and it's looking at me like, nah, I don't want to do it. I'll tell you what, I will retweet this on Twitter, so you guys see. You guys can see it. It's the detail is it's crazy. It's like steampunk and other stuff, but it just looks like you just get hype just looking at that. And look at the design of the fence, of the entryway, the fences and everything, and the archways.
What do you call the tower on top of that thing?
Oh, the Kronos?
The Kronos, okay. The Kronos. I don't know if you realize that looks very, very similar to the structure that Disney used, not in any of their parks because they ended up having to take it down, but at the World's Fair at the entryway to the the Carousel of Progress. At the entrance to Carousel of Progress at the World's Fair, they had a Kronos-like thing, and it looks very much like that. And they couldn't use it, and they couldn't move it back to Disneyland, so they just tore it down. But it looks very, very similar to that. And when I first saw this, I'm like, are they trying to? Aren't they trying to do that? Are they trying to use that kind of a thing? Because it feels like. In every way, it kind of feels like they're out Disneying Disney.
Yes. And you've got to know what some of these former Imagineers that are like, you know what? That thing they did over there, we're going to put it over here. But we're going to put it on steroids when we put it over here. So that would not surprise me. But in the latest news about Epic Universe, you've got more ticket options that are going on now. So park opens May 22nd. And lately, you've only been able to get tickets, 3-day tickets with 1 day for Epic Universe. Or if you're a pass holder, you can purchase 1-day tickets. But what's coming up now? Oh, that looks so freaking cool with Dark Universe. That Dark Universe, so cool looking. And I can't wait to go into the Ministry of Magic. That is going to be absolutely fabulous. There's Isle of Burke. Here's some more. Again, concept art, but it actually looks like. Let's see if I can get. Okay, can't get it bigger, but that's what it's going to look like at night. Here's the entrance. Entrance to the park is here, and look at all this water. Just beautiful. They've got the I'll say Fountain of Nations 2.0 in front of Helios. But let's see, where did they put the tickets at? Okay, so least expensive option. So they've got a multi-day with 1 day at Epic. So what they've also added is they've added in an option for Florida residents. So you can get it minimum of 3 days starting at $117 per day. So it looks like a $20 discount. And of course, depending on the dates. But they also have the military tickets available as well. Yeah. Epic Universe single day tickets for military freedom pass holders. So now, if you're military freedom pass holders, you can purchase a single day ticket, just like the regular universal pass holders can. And if you're a Florida resident, you're able to purchase the 3-day ticket. They have not announced single day tickets for general public or Florida residents yet, or anything about Universal Express passes. Multi-day tickets for Epic Universe. I don't think that's going to happen right away. I think they're probably going to wait on that to kind of see what happens. Like they're restricting attendance at this point just because it's a new park. So I kind of get it. It's a little annoying, but I kind of get it.
I heard somewhere said that they may release single day tickets available for sale close to the opening of Epic Universe, but of course at that point in time those single day tickets probably wouldn't be available to they'll be available to purchase, but they won't be available to use until like November or something, because it'll be a much later time that you'd be able to use them, simply because they're going to be sold out for so much of the year.
Yeah, if you're a pass holder, single day tickets are sold out all the way until I think July. Is it July? Mid-June, July. You're not getting in in March. I mean, in May, with a pass holder single day ticket. Now that could change and they open the general public tickets or the resident tickets. That could possibly change. Let's see. Universal annual passes that include admission to Epic Universe TBA. I am keeping my eye on this because my passes renew in April. So I don't know if it'll just renew for just 3 parks, or if they add some addendum to the annual passes. I am guessing that annual passes that include Epic Universe, you're probably going to see a price increase of probably about 30 to 40%, as it's a whole new park. It could come down lower than that, but budgeting wise, I'm saying it's probably about 30 to 40%. Epic Universe VIP Tours TBA. Ooh, I can't wait to open these up because Universal VIP Tours are so much fun. I love them. I did one for behind the scenes for the Halloween Horror Nights houses. I got like a lanyard, I got like a button, I got like something else, and our tour guide was amazing. However, let's see, a 2025 Explorer ticket for UK and Latin America residents, that's now available. An all parks ticket for UK residents only for 2026 and beyond are now available. So they're slowly getting their ticket game together, but definitely are hitting the UK and Latin America markets for tickets. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And yes, team member previews have been starting for Epic Universe. So they're checking it out.
Some people are getting to go on the rides already.
Oh, I'm so freaking jealous.
Let's go get seasonal employment. Shh, we won't tell anybody.
But it's so cool because they had the Starbucks that they opened up. They had pictures of that. They've got their cast they're not their cast, but their team member campus that they have opened. Some of them have housing like on property, but I've seen pictures of that. They've got like a cafeteria. It looks so nice.
Is there
That they have that.
is there going to be a main stage show type show at Epic, like a live action any type big theatrical production main stage show? I haven't heard of anything. That's why I was asking.
No, not in Celestial Park, but I do know Isle of Berk has one with the flying dragon, so that's one. Um, the Ministry of Magic, they have the Circus Arcanus show. So those are two shows. I don't think Dark Universe has one, and I don't think Super Nintendo World has one. But those two do. No parades. Not like a parade, mainstream USA type of parade. I think they have one over in the Ministry of Magic. So I'll know more later on, but I didn't hear anything about parades really.
That is literally the only thing that Disney has coming to compete is their nighttime parade. They've got nothing else going on. If they go forward with Rivers of America and shut down a third of the park and put it behind construction walls, they're going to kill attendance. That's one of the biggest reasons why I think that after Epic, they might even be waiting for Epic to open to see what happens before they announce. They wouldn't announce it. They would just quietly it'd be a quiet canceling of Rivers of America being destroyed. And but the parades the nighttime parade at Magic may help a little bit, but I don't think it's going to do much because Epic Universe is a whole different thing. And when you're looking, if I'm a family and I'm planning the vacation from a distance and I'm looking at this brand new park that's got Nintendo World, it's got Donkey Kong, it's got Isle of Berk, it's got Harry Potter, it's got like kind of something for the whole family. The adults are gonna love seeing Frankenstein's monster, the vampire, and all that, and Wolfman, and all that stuff. The adults are gonna love this. So it's kind of got something for the whole family there. And that's just one of the parks that you're going to be able to go to, along with your water park, Volcano Bay, already planned in, and Islands of Adventure, and you got places to stay in Helios and the two. I mean, it's going to be really easy to plan an Orlando Universal vacation, and there's so much. If you, especially anybody that researches this vacation, there's so much right there that you don't got to go out of that area to like, I want to go putt, play mini golf. There's the Pirates Cove right there. And all the things on the strip at International Drive and all the other little, tiny things.
Go karts, go to Andretti's.
It's literally walking distance. And the Top Golf is right there. So yeah, it's if I'm planning a vacation to Orlando in 2025, I'm planning a Universal vacation. Easily 2025, 2026, 27, 28, Universal all the way, because I'm looking at what Disney has taken away. They use especially, let's say that I'm dialed out, right? And I go, hey guys, let's look at these vacations. All right, so Here, if I go to Universal, it says that if we stay at the Hard Rock, we actually get access to the front of the lines for free. But if I go to Disney and I want to stay at the Grand Floridian, it says I have to pay $450 a day per person for that access after I pay for my tickets and for my stay. I mean, come on. It's like, it's just common sense is going to say, I'm going to pick that Universal vacation because I'm literally saving thousands of dollars and having a plussed up experience. So yeah, it's going to be a no-brainer. If I'm planning a vacation and I'm looking at this, it's a no-brainer. I mean, and also, but Dad, I'm interested in all the Marvel stuff that Disney has. Oh, Disney doesn't have Marvel stuff here. It's all Islands of Adventure, right? You want to see Spider-Man? You got to go to Islands. Want to see the Hulk? Or how about Wolverine? A representation of Wolverine.
Got to go to Islands of Adventure for that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, Universal with that contract that they have with Marvel, they got kind of Disney by the little mouse nuggets.
Yeah. And if you go to, because I've did a couple live streams where we've gone through Islands of Adventure, Marvel Superhero Island is insane.
It's banging.
Insane. Oh my gosh. You can do a meet and greet with Spider-Man. And if he doesn't have anybody in line, he'll come up to the camera.
Yeah, and you can have breakfast over there, I think, with all the superheroes. They got so it's and they got way more rides and attractions in that area than they do over at Avengers Campus. I think there's two attractions at Avengers Campus.
I think so.
And Universal Islands of Adventure. I'm trying to think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 4 or 5 attractions there. Spider-Man, Hulk,
Spider-Man, Hulk, Storm. You've got Dr. Doom's
Freefall.
Doom's Freefall. Yeah.
Fearfall. That's what it's called. The Fearfall.
So at least you got 4. You've got Kingpin's Arcade, and it has like a big, I want to say like a blasted window area, so you can look into the Fantastic Four cafe. And if you look up, that whole thing is just Silver Age Marvel. That whole land, the music that they play that's in there, how all of the gift shops are themed, even the restaurants where you look and you see like that old school comic art that they have. It's here's the thing. The music is so integral to setting the mood for that. And that's one thing that Universal has not forgotten, that the music is just as important as the design of the lands that they have. But this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Kind of wrap up the stream with this. How Epic Universe is building its marketing blitz ahead of the major theme parks launch. So if you watch the Super Bowl, or even if you didn't watch Super Bowl, if you saw Disney's piss poor commercial, you're just like, whatever. I'm not going there. I'm really going there. If you saw the ad for Epic Universe, it was insane. It's like you saw certain people like, I'm just drawn to this portal, and they, all ages, they go in there. It was freaking amazing. And they come back out there like, you've got to come and check this out. And it was fabulous, because not only did you see the commercial during the Super Bowl, but it was also available on social media as well. And in this article, what they do is, one of Universal Destinations executive, Alex Norsworthy, breaks down the emotion, guest previews, and multiple platforms like the Super Bowl to tell the story of the first big U.S. theme park launch in decades. It has just been an onslaught from all different channels. Disney's social media, it's kind of like, it's there. But if you've ever followed the Universal Orlando Twitter handle, every chance they get to throw shade at Disney, they do it.
And Disney's deserving of it.
Yes. It's just like that handle is undefeated with like how they drop things, how they interact with people asking questions, they drop nuggets about Epic Universe. They are firing on all thrusters, and this was all intentional how they did this. And it's amazing watching when you watch the commercial and you see stuff in the theme lands and notice how it's better than the concept art that you see in Disney. They'll do the concept art and then it's like you got it from Wish or something like that. It so doesn't work.
Disney's on Temu. They're shopping like a billionaire.
Yeah. Akido says, has Universal released preview music for each land to listen to, gives us an idea of the ambient sounds for each area of Epic. I don't think that they have. I do know, was it Danny Elfman? I think it's doing the music for Dark Universe.
Yeah, that's right. That's a
And
big
of course, John Williams. That's the score for Over in the Ministry of Magic. I haven't watched Fantastic Beasts, but those are two safe bets. But they haven't
there is
released the rest of it.
Speaking of John Williams, the one thing that I would recommend if people do have Disney Plus and you're subscribed, watch the John Williams documentary. That thing is it's fun to see. It's his how he got into music. It was kind of an accident, and see his progress. John Williams, oh my gosh, his music. People ask me like, what genre of music do you listen to? I probably listen to movie music more than any other genre, which is weird because it's like movie scores. Because I say that movie scores of our day are the best comparison to anything that we have that would relate to classical music of the past. Like the people that write orchestral scores, they're all writing them for movies today. And you don't see a whole lot outside of that, or at least I don't. But that's the type of music that I like. I just like these big, because it's the emotion. Like watch Star Wars without the music, and you're like, this is kind of boring.
It's kind of like, and people have noticed the difference when I've live streamed from the studios. When we go through Galaxy's Edge, it just feels so boring and lifeless. But when we go over to where Star Tours is, and you hear the John Williams music, it's like, oh my gosh, this is what we should have gotten, and we didn't get. Reina Creole, how cool are the leaked videos of the burning windmill in Dark Universe? And let's not forget that the Phantom in the Monsters Unchained ride will supposedly be playing a flaming piano. Yes, I had actually dropped a short. I think I put it on X, where I was recording footage and caught footage of them testing the burning windmill. I'm like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, wow. And the blades just caught fire. I think they do that like every 15 minutes, I think, or so. It's not like a little tiny lighting effect. No. If you've ever seen the original Frankenstein movie and you see like the burning blades on the windmill, that's some serious pyro effects that they've got going on. I mean, the fire is, I could just sit and watch that every 15 minutes are just catches on fire. And yes, I cannot wait to see the Phantom of the Opera at the flaming piano. I can't wait. It is awesome. Video games and anime are the only genre with stunning classical type music nowadays. Yes, the game that I play, Infinity Nikki, the music that's an orchestral score. Like they did a short where they showed like I think like the Budapest Opera or something like that orchestra. The music, I could put the music on, just listen to it, and they put it on, I think, on Pandora. I'm like, wow, that anime is another one. It's just the music from certain video games. It's amazing. Yes, Danny Elfman for real. Yes. I mean, I already know John Williams' score is going to be awesome over in Ministry of Magic, but Dark Universe is just, oh, it's just so awesome. So awesome. And very immersive. I love it very much. Yeah. And Kiss My Grits, I agree. They better have launched. They better have licensed that. I don't like many musicals unless somebody dies, and the Phantom of the Opera is my favorite one. This is going to be so insane, so absolutely insane. So we have so much that's coming from Epic Universe, interesting stuff that's coming from Disney, but we will keep you all updated as things happen. So Ron, what have you got going on to let folks know about?
Well, it is uploaded, but I haven't dropped it to the public because I got to work on the thumbnail and the description. But look for it out today on my channel. Follow the Bradley's Fun, a video where I comment on the not so much the dropping of the fandom of Star Wars, but the dropping of the pants of Luke Skywalker.
Oh, you mean the Marky Mark impression? I'm like,
yeah. So that's coming on. That'll be out probably within the hour. Just because I have to get it uploaded and stuff. I mean, it's uploaded and checked. I just have to do the thumbnail and all that. And then, of course, what I'm working on, and the reason that's coming out today is I'm working on trying to get a video out every single day, whether it's vlog or commentary or anything that's separate from my daily dish. But of course, I also do the daily dish in the morning, 9:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. Sometimes that's live in the parks. Most of the time it's not. But sometimes we are live in the parks there. And of course, there's other things, other vlogs and things on the channel throughout. So follow the Bradley's Fun on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook. If you type in Follow the Bradley's Fun, you will get myself and our family in the background here, Virginia and Xander and the rest of us. And we have a lot of fun. And we want to make Disney Walt again.
yes.
So that's what we do. And of course, I'm here with Lorena most Saturdays. Any Saturday that I can be here and get here, and of course Tuesday nights with the Spice Lounge where we get spicy.
Yes.
And on the Pro Show, and I more places. It's really my family comes up to me and goes, "Wait, are you live? Right? You're here. How can you be live?" And I'm like, I don't know. It's YouTube magic. I'm far more places than I ever thought I'd be when I started this. So it's lovely because our group of YouTube people, Lorena and Pro, that Park Place, all the people that surround us, we all love to lift each other up. We're all very, very uplifting, a very good group of people. Which is great because other YouTubers aren't necessarily like that. So I'm so glad that I met the people that I have, because Lorraine has been a blessing to me, and Pro and everybody else. And of course, the audience is fantastic here. We have the best audience on YouTube for sure. So we appreciate you guys every moment that you give to us. Especially, I think that you might even mention that somebody just gave something to us.
Yes. As a matter of fact, it's Florentine dropped a $2 super chat. Thank you so very much. Let me see what I'm gonna hit you up with. Here we go.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss, my wife. Baby, my heart's on fire.
That will never not be funny. Let's see. He says,
please don't ruin that. Please don't ruin that with Josh Gad. Please don't ruin that with Josh Gad.
I can't. Every time he opens his mouth, in my head, I'm punching Olaf in the face. Press is what they're doing to Florida Rivers of America is a disgrace. Yes, it is.
100%.
100% that it is. But it's so much easier to destroy things than to build something new. And I thought that I would never say that about the Walt Disney Walt Disney Company. So thank you so much for that super chat, Florentine. I appreciate that. And thank you again so much for being a channel member. Oh, thank you, Braylon. And Just Nita says, love that froggy. Yes, Michigan J Frog. Yes, that's his name. That's his name, Michigan J Frog, Michigan J Frog. You got to watch the cartoon with the
Yes.
guy who has a singing frog, and he's trying to convince people that the frog can sing. And
I
finally,
love that cartoon.
they see him singing, and he's throwing it money, and then they have this big like Carnegie Hall performance, and the frog doesn't sing,
The stage fright.
and then they're back on the street, and the frog's singing. It's so freaking funny. I love it. I love it. Yes, he is a WB mascot indeed. Hey, Dark D with the C says, hail everyone. Great stream. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, my dear. I'm glad you're able to pop in. And Alyssa1225, thank you for being a channel member, says, hello, Lorena and Ron. I am ninja watching doing Cinderella chores. That's what I'm about to do. As soon as I sign off, oh Lord, I've got stuff to do in the kitchen, and I've got laundry, and I have like a meal I got to throw in the crock pot for a camera girl. And okay, I'm looking at Professor X. Lately, he's been jumping up and video bombing me of late. He also knows as soon as I sign off, he'll start crying. He knows if you've seen anybody live stream who has pets, they have to have a place for the pets to be because they want to get in there, too. It's so funny. It's so funny. Nothing like seeing a streamer and then all of a sudden their cat just like video bombs and starts crawling around where the mic is and stuff. So funny. So funny. Okay, well, as for myself, oh, thank you guys so much for being here. Been like over 100 of you between X and between YouTube. So please heart the stream over on X. Please give thumb ups over on YouTube. As for your girl, let's see. I always have to say, what day is it? Saturday. Okay, so 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, Saturday evening movie chicks, myself and Retro Nerd Girl, we are going to be watching the original Beverly Hills Cop. So you do not want to miss the watch party for that. Also, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, Welcome to Florida show, the closeout Black History Month. We're going to be talking about Fort Mose, which is the first free Black settlement in the Americas. You don't hear very much about it. And also talk about a family tie that I have to Fort Mose. So we're going to talk about that on Sunday. Monday, of course, I'm going to be streaming live from the Magic Kingdom. We're going to have fun in Adventureland. I am hoping we can check out the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. It's it's such a hidden gem, and I love it. So we're going to go check that out, hang out in Adventureland, and just have fun enjoying that. And of course, Tuesday, the Spice Lounge. Ron will be there. Hopefully, Erica will join us as well. That's when we get into the pop culture crazy news of this week. And I cannot promise that there'll be another Star Wars actor losing their pants in an award show, but if there is, we will definitely show you. So you guys
We'll have to talk about that latest Snow White featurette.
I saw Red. I saw Red. If we did that over on Polly's channel on yesterday afternoon, and it was just like, are you freaking kidding me right now? They're trying to pull a doozy on us, let me tell you. All right, well, we are going to roll out of here. Thank you guys so much. Please make sure you subscribe to Ron. Please make sure you subscribe to me. You guys are the most amazing chat. So thank you so much for being our co-host, and we will see you all next time. Bye.